There is a hidden pattern behind every true master who ever lived. It doesn't matter whether they were samurai, artists, musicians, programmers, athletes, or entrepreneurs. Across centuries, cultures, and disciplines, the same learning structure appears again and again, and yet almost no one follows it. That is why most people stay beginners for life. They start strong, they feel inspired, they buy courses, they watch tutorials, they consume information endlessly. But months pass, years pass, and nothing truly changes. They know more, but they cannot perform. They understand concepts, but they freeze under pressure. Meanwhile, a small group of people seems almost unfairly effective. They master languages in a year. They become dangerous at instruments in months. They build companies, while others are still planning. Society calls them gifted, talented, naturals. But this explanation is comforting and false. The real difference has nothing to do with intelligence or talent. It has everything to do with how they learn. Centuries ago, in Japan, this process was formalized into a system so powerful it transformed ordinary people into masters whose work still survives today. This system is called Shu-ha-ri, and once you understand it, you will never look at learning the same way again. Chapter 1. The Failure of Self-Teaching. Imagine a young man in feudal Japan. He isn't born into a samurai family. He has no noble lineage, no special advantages, no shortcuts. All he has is obsession. He wants to become a samurai more than he wants comfort, safety, or approval. So he does what most modern learners do. He trains alone. He copies movements he has seen. He reads old manuscripts. He studies famous battles. He memorizes techniques and philosophies. Day after day, month after month, but something is wrong. His movements feel stiff, his timing is off. The sword feels foreign in his hands. The more he practices, the worse it feels. This is the first brutal truth of mastery. Practicing the wrong thing does not just fail to help it, actively makes you worse. Every repetition trains your nervous system. If the repetition is flawed, you are engraving mistakes into your body. Most people don't fail because they don't practice. They fail because they practice without structure. They confuse effort with progress. Chapter 2. Shu, the Death of the Ego. When the young man finally meets a real master, he expects secrets, advanced techniques, hidden knowledge, powerful strategies. Instead, the master tells him something that offends his ego. Stop thinking, stop questioning. Copy exactly. This is Shu. Shu means to obey. At this stage, you do not innovate. You do not customize. You do not express yourself. You do not look for shortcuts. You imitate with obsessive precision, posture, breathing, timing, angles measured in millimeters. And yes, it is boring, painfully boring. Your mind rebels. This is too slow. I already understand this. I could be learning advanced techniques, but Shu is not about understanding. It is about encoding. True skill does not live in the thinking mind. It lives in the nervous system. Neuroscience confirms this. Only after hundreds, sometimes thousands of correct repetitions does a skill migrate into the brain's automatic systems. Until then, everything feels forced, slow, awkward. Most people quit here. They mistake boredom for inefficiency. In reality, boredom is the price of depth. Chapter 3. Why Knowledge is Not Mastery. After months of Shu, something changes. Movements begin to execute themselves. Breathing aligns automatically. The body responds without conscious effort. This is the moment where most people should stay longer. Instead, they rush ahead. They want more technique, more strategies, more information. They become collectors, collectors of knowledge, collectors of courses, collectors of half-developed skills. They know a little about everything, but they cannot perform under pressure. This is the eternal student trap. Knowledge feels productive, repetition feels pointless, but mastery is built in silence, not stimulation. Chapter 4. Intelligent Rebellion. Only after Shu is complete does the second stage begin. Ha means to break, but not recklessly. Here, you are allowed to question after you have obeyed. You study other styles, contradictory approaches, opposing philosophies. At first, it creates confusion. Your mind wants certainty. Instead, it finds contradiction. But slowly, something deeper emerges. You stop seeing techniques. You start seeing principles, different forms, same truth. Efficiency, timing, awareness, energy flow. This is where creativity becomes legitimate, not because you are expressing yourself, but because you understand why things work. Most people try to start here. That is why they fail. Without Shu, Ha becomes chaos. With Shu, Ha becomes evolution. Chapter 5. Why most experts still aren't masters. After Ha, many people stop. They can adapt. They can combine. They can innovate. Compared to beginners, they are impressive. But something is still missing. They are still choosing, still thinking. Which technique should I use? That hesitation, though invisible, is fatal. True mastery requires something terrifying. Letting go of control. Chapter 6. Ri. Effortless response. Ri means to transcend. At this stage, techniques disappear, not because they are forgotten, but because they have dissolved into instinct. There is no internal dialogue, no decision-making, no selection process. Action happens before thought. Brain studies of elite performers show the same phenomenon. The conscious control centers quiet down. Older brain systems take over. The person is no longer doing the skill. The skill is expressing itself through the person. This is why true masters look calm under pressure. They are not trying to perform. They are allowing response. Chapter 7. Why modern learning is broken. Modern culture sabotages mastery. We glorify speed. We worship shortcuts. We celebrate finding your own way. Copying is framed as weakness. Following is framed as lack of creativity. But every master copied obsessively before becoming original. Originality is not the starting point. It is the side effect of mastery. Skipping fundamentals is not innovation. It is impatience, disguised as confidence. Chapter 8. Applying Shuhari to any skill. Music. Shu. Copy songs note for note. Ha. Combined styles and theory. Ri. Music flows without thought. Programming. Shu. Copy code line by line. Ha. Adapt patterns. Ri. Solutions appear intuitively. Business. Shu. Replicate proven models. Ha. Adapt to niche and context. Ri. You sense the market before data confirms it. The domain does not matter. The structure is universal. Chapter 9. The brutal truth. If you are honest with yourself, you already know where you failed. Not talent, not time, not resources. You tried to skip Shu because Shu is humbling, because Shu feels slow, because Shu forces you to admit you know nothing. But mastery demands humility before it grants freedom. Chapter 10. The choice. You have two paths. 1. Consume endlessly. Jump between interests. Stay average. 2. Choose one skill. Find one master. Copy without ego. Repeat without boredom. Stay longer than feels comfortable. Years later, the difference will be undeniable. Mastery is boring before it is beautiful. Shu-ha-ri. The path works. The only question is whether you will stay on it long enough.